Hello everyone, and welcome to Nexus Revolutions. Thank you for joining us for an evening of Dungeons & Dragons. I'm Nat, I use she, her pronouns, and I will be your dungeon master for this story. Nexus Revolutions follows on from the last Nexus campaign that I ran, although you don't have to have watched it to know what's going on here. While the events of that campaign have consequences for this one, I will catch you up on anything you need to know as and when it comes up. This game might run a little differently to some D&D games, mostly because we have some homebrew mechanics going on and our players are all playing Doris units, little automatons originally inspired by the robots and sentries in the Portal video games. We're going to lean into sci-fi more than fantasy, and while this is a fun game with plenty of shenanigans, we also have some moments of underlying existentialism that deal with identity, autonomy, freedom, enslavement, and AI, and some quite heavy things. Things are going to change quite radically for our little delightful Dorises throughout the campaign, and the name they use to introduce themselves to you in a moment may be different to the one they're using in-game, so please respect the name that you see on screen when you're referring to them in chat if you're joining us live. And if at any moment you need to take a little step away from the screen for a bit and rejoin us later, please do so. Look after yourselves. It is a fun time, but there's some heavy stuff too. Check out our TTRPG safety toolkit and content warnings if you need to see what's coming up. With all that being said, let's meet the players and have a word from our sponsors.
Hello, I'm Mike. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing DEM 42. I am the horticultural care assistant who used to work under Lauder, they, them.
Hi, I'm Evie, I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing DR33, who uses any pronouns. DR33 was the Doris of Dr. Bindell from the Research Division.
Hello, my name is Josh, I use he, him pronouns, and I play Doris DA225, who uses any pronouns. Doris DA225 was the Doris of Gregarious Tusk.
Hi everyone, my name is Ali, I go by they, them, and I will be playing DEM 24221, who was the Doris of an engineer called Minari. And yeah, let's see what shenanigans we have here.
Check out our sponsor, Phoenix Dice, for carefully crafted click-clack maths rocks for use in your favorite TTRPGs. Phoenix Dice work with recycled goods, meaning their products and packaging are all made with sustainable materials. You can go to phoenixdice.com to check their entire selection. And if you put !dice into chat, you can enter a raffle with a chance to win some dice of your very own.
Thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. You can join us from as little as one of your local currency by following the link in chat or in the description below. Our D20 Club are the best. They have created a fan Discord for us, as well as a wiki page to keep track of all the Roll Together stories. And you can find that at rolltogether.fandom.com.
We are delighted to be supported by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a Dungeons & Dragons strategy video game that brings D&D characters from novels, adventures, and multiple live streams into a single grand adventure. You can select your heroes and formation and then battle through waves of monsters for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, mobile, and Nintendo Switch. And if you put !code into chat, you'll get yourself a free Electrum chest.
You can find us across social media by searching for Roll Together RPG or by following the links in chat or in the description below. If you can't join us live and you want to see our previous episodes, you can catch up straight afterwards on Twitch, YouTube, or your favorite podcast provider by searching for Roll Together RPG.
Finally, we run queer-friendly tables and encourage and support trans and GNC players and characters in our games. Our players and DM may portray characters that are of a different gender to their own. We aim to avoid misgendering but acknowledge that it does happen. We welcome corrections and have a company policy in place for correcting people on pronouns. Check out Safety in Chat for content warnings and some of the safety tools that we use through the TTRPG Safety Toolkit.
Hello everyone, welcome to Nexus Revolutions. Ooh. Arrayed around me are a wonderful selection of Dorises. Dorisa, I actually have not thought of this. What is the plural of a Doris?
Right.
A Dorai?
Dorii.
A Dorii, or Dorai, or Dorisai?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. Yes, all of the above.
I agree.
Anyway, they're all arrayed around me, and they're all going to be marvelous, and we're definitely not going to get confused as to who's playing who at all with these characters that are exactly the same and with exactly the same stat block. We'll get into that a little bit later once we start with the story. So, a few weeks has passed since the events of Nexus, where a group of new hires entered the top secret facility hidden in the Sword Mountains. They managed to fight off the oozy forces of Jublex, and they shut down an artifact, causing a rift between planes. With the foolhardy CEO, Gregarious Tusk, fled, the scientists who could have fixed it had been warped to another plane of existence, and all of the other staff were dead. Once the band of recruits had escaped, there was not much of Nexus that really remained to be saved. There were a handful of service automatons scattered about, some in better shape than others, of course, but with no life deemed important left, and still surrounded by an anti-magic field to prevent scrying, the Lord's Alliance has assumed that the Nexus Arts facility is not a priority to clear out. It's very unfortunate. So they might also have been encouraged with a little hush money to sort of turn their eyes away and focus on other matters. So we've been left with the arts facility just rotting, I guess. So why are we here again now? A few weeks later. What could possibly draw us back into the depths of the mountain, to that long-abandoned dwarven fortress, carelessly taken over in the name of research? Well, in the darkness of a storage unit, tucked away in the engineering department, unexplored after what I'm now going to call the incident, some gears begin whirring. Diagnostics begin running, and a large oculus rotates within its casing, attempting to focus when it's dark. And then another one next to it. Cogs whir, oculus tries to focus, and another, and another. I'm gonna roll a d4. Ali, or should I say, Doris Dem 24221. A basic instruction has made itself known to your central processing core. In emergency, push button to exit service hatch.
Oh, this is an emergency. Where is the button to eject the hatch? Oh, look at the bottom. I will now push the button. Push the button.
You push the button, and the cupboard door, the storage unit door, just rolls down, and suddenly you are flooded with. I say flooded with light. It's not actually that light in here. There's a very soft blue glow, but it's enough for you to see, and you're able to make your way out of the room. The rest of you are coming to as well, and you realize that suddenly there is light to your right, and you can turn and follow the Doris ahead of you. Ali, or DEM 24221, as you step out of the service hatch, we're going to see a Doris, okay? Which is, as we established in Nexus, they are spherical, like big spherical balls, metal, with a large central oculus, as I just described, little stick legs, little stick arms sticking out. You've got a little mouth at the bottom of your ball. You're about 3 foot tall total. But you have been working here at Nexus Arts for a little while under the guise of your officer that you report to, Minari. And as the workers here at Nexus get used to their personal Doris that has been assigned to them, they may have made little tweaks, design changes. So what do we see as Dem 24221 steps out? Is there any color that's been added? Any decoration?
Yes, there's actually lots of color because Menare is one of those individuals that put sticks all over the laptop, right? So imagine so now Doris seems to have like tattoo sleeves. They are just stickers. So you can see all kind of stickers like unicorns and hearts and flames and all kind of of the D&D equivalent of stickers, right? And Doris DEM 24221 steps out and says, "Hey Doris, this is an emergency."
Great. You step out, making room for who's going to be stepping out next? Who wants to go next? Who would respond to, come on, it's an emergency?
DEM42 steps out. An emergency? Where are the humanoids?
Great. Before you answer that, what do we see?
I guess that they're all little, as we are, and we're all about 3 foot tall. Incredibly bog standard Doris, but the metal work is quite rusted and dirty, and not in a sense of unkempt, but more just this little Doris has just been kind of left to it to do its job. It doesn't really need checking in on or anything like that, so it's sort of just always been left, so it's just a bit dirty and a bit rusted, but apart from that, pretty bog standard.
Great. The two of you toddle into the room. I will, before the other two step out, say that immediately the first things you're able to see, 24221, this is the room that you and Minari usually work in. And you remember being told to go in the storage cupboard. So this is not like a, where was I? Oh my goodness, here I am. This is yes, this is, where I expected to be. It does look, as usual, Minari is a little bit messy. There is, there are tools and scraps laid around everywhere, but there is no sign of them. As you observed, where are the humans?
So as 42 asks where the humanoids are, they are not in visible distance. Maybe we should look for them.
Yes, that or clean up.
That is not my assigned job. I push the button.
42 will sort of turn and look to whoever else is coming up this cupboard.
You'll back up on, no, this place really needs cleaning up. Who do we step out next?
Sure. DR33 steps out of the little pod. DR33 is kind of coloured in a light purple, and starting just under where their mouthpiece is a ring that looks like little holes poked in it, almost as if someone has tried to install a speaker into this Doris. You can also see the occasional little dent, or where something has been kind of removed with white spirit, where someone may have graffitied this Doris in the past. Little antennae that's slightly wonky as well. Steps out and says, "There are no humans." Wait, where are you going? Hello, Doris. Hello, Doris.
Hello, Doris.
Hello.
Why are we awake?
This is an emergency.
What is the emergency?
It's really messy.
It looks fine to me.
Maybe if we clean, the emergency is over.
I was not programmed to clean. I will go back into my pod. Good luck with your duties. And I step back into my pod.
So to clarify, you weren't all in individual pods. It was like one long storage cupboard that you sort of one pops out and the next pops out and the next pops out. So as you reverse in, you bump into...
As I boot up, it's like, bloop, 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 bloop. Hello there, I'm Gargarius Tusk, and this is... And says like some sort of big propaganda speech thing, and then goes, bloop, 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 bloop. Emergency? What is the emergency? Where is Tusk? Tusk, 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 as I'm currently being reversed into. Tusk, Tusk, Tusk. I am obviously a Doris like everybody else, and I am very well polished. Almost looks like parts of me have been replaced with more like golden looking parts. Think very C3PO-esque. I'm like one of the... I'm very well maintained, and you can almost see your reflection in my armor plating. Tusk, 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 Tusk.
Did remix that. Tusk, 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 Tusk. There's something here. I will report it to Dr. Bindle.
Checks notes. Yes, that person that I'm assigned to.
225. Do you need any repairments?
No, I am fine. I just require 3-3 to remove their foot from mine. Tusk, 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 Tusk.
If
I
you would
believe
stop
we
jamming
need
with me for a
directive.
moment, I would be happy to.
Thank you. What is our designation? What are we meant to be doing?
Okay, so I'm going to ask you all here to make a history check.
So that is a... Well.
So for the audience at home, our players are pulling faces because we're using slightly different mechanics here in to start with, at least in this game. I've given them all a stat block that we're starting with because even though they have their own little glimpses of personality and differences, these Dorises are all starting the same. Will we end up with completely different characters by the end? Who knows? We'll see. But to start with, we have this basic stat block, and history. Whilst you do have proficiency in it, the modifier is not great. So please tell me, what did you roll, everyone?
7.
4.
Maybe.
16?
Yay! Amazing. Okay. Thank goodness that someone got there.
We were going to spend a lot of time cleaning up.
We're going to spend a lot of time cleaning up. I was going to kick back.
But it's interesting that we've got such a range, which is great because 3-3 with your 2, you genuinely have no idea why you were sent here. You have vague memories of being told to go to engineering, but like, I don't know, you were too busy working on a loop of a sound that you heard that sounded really interesting, and you thought actually reporting back would have that sound would be great when you're done. So you were really focused on that. 42 and 24221. You remember, in fact, 42. You were told, you've been glitching. You need to report to engineering for maintenance and to have you checked over. 24221. You were not the first one to have been sent. You remember 33 and 42 being sent over and being curious that they had been sent over to your department, engineering department, maintenance department that Minari runs, been put in charge of looking after the Dorises within the Nexus Arts facility. So you were there when these Dorises were sent in to be investigated. So you remember that. And then you remember being told that you also needed checking over. And in fact, you remember that just before you were shut down, Minari was making a log. So you think, actually, maybe if I go check their logbook, that would help us. We're going to deal with those first, and then I'm going to honor that 16 that 225 rolled.
Good. So I remember 33 and 42. What about 225?
You don't remember 225 turning up
Coming.
before you were shut down.
Yeah.
But you do remember that 42 and 33 were within the same cycle, as in the same day.
I remember a couple of cycles ago, 42 and 33, you came for service. Do you remember what happened to you?
Sampling a new song for Dr. Bindell. I don't recall what happened after that.
Give me a second. Maybe we can check the records. Yes, that's what Minari would do. And 24221 approaches to the workstation. How tall is a workstation?
The workstation is probably just a little bit tall. Like you are probably just a little. Wait, I'm doing sizes in my head now. You're about 3 feet tall, about a meter. So yeah, the workstation is a little bit taller because it's like a sitting. It's like a stool workstation rather than a chair workstation. So it's a little bit high above you. You might have to do a bit of.
Can I make a luck roll to see if, by any chance, Minari had steps in place for this kind
A
of
little
situation?
steppy stool for you.
Doris.
No, I don't think you need to make a luck roll. I think you and Minari had the kind of relationship where, I mean, they were an engineer. They saw problems and they fixed them.
Yes.
And you had quite an amicable relationship, I think. So I think they saw your problem and they made some little steppy stools for you.
Yeah. Instead of giving me longer legs, Minari just installed steps everywhere.
Yeah.
But given the situation of the room, I think there is a couple of like debris or like items around. So Doris starts like cleaning the steps and very nimbly starts stepping up the steps. And I will try to look for the records.
Mm-hmm. Great. Please make me a perception check.
I don't like these dice. I usually don't roll that. So that means I have a 2.
A 2 total. Wow. I think there's part of you that's going, maybe 42 is onto something. Maybe this place is too much of a mess. And actually, there is more mess here than you remember there being before you were powered down. So maybe that's got something to do with it. What are the rest of you doing? Would you be watching 24221 do all of this just passively, or do you think you might help?
42's gone looking for potted plants in the room.
Oh, bless you. Okay. You look around for a potted plant. There is none in this particular room that you are in right now, which is about 5 foot by 10 foot. It's not huge. It's got a desk and a little workstation and this cupboard. But there is an exit into a larger space within engineering. So if the door is closed though, so you would need to leave to do that. Would you stop once you've determined there are no pot plants in this room, or would you go out?
Yeah, you just beeping, booping around, and then I'll just return back to 24221, just like expectantly waiting for directive.
Could you make me? I realized that actually, 24221, it possibly could have been an investigation check rather than perception. Would that have?
I can give you that, and I will roll a digital dice for nice, for a lovely maths 17.
17. Okay. Much better. So, you kind of do your perception check. You do a general scan of the room, and you go, "Oh yes, this is very much messy compared to what it was before." And then you see 42 scooting around looking for plants, and I think maybe there's something about the way that 42 is like leaning down and looking quite low for plants and then looking quite high for hanging plants that feels like, oh, maybe because of all this mess, maybe it's been knocked down or up on a high shelf. And you see up above you there is another shelf, and you can see on the edge there's like this tablet and a scroll kind of situation up on the shelf that you're like, that's where Minari put it.
I will try to reach it.
Unfortunately, you're a little bit short. You might require assistance.
I guess because I think I'm not, if not friend, as machines can be friends, but 42 is also from the engineering and management. 42, could you please help me with this? Could you give me a hand?
Yes, what would you like me to do?
Come here and reach me to the sky.
We can certainly try. I don't think in my building specs that would be an appropriate use of my machinery, but I will happily help. And 42 is going to try and pick up.
It's gonna go.
24221.
33225. Are you just watching this passively?
I think as they begin to go into action, I probably kind of waddle up next to them and just say, "You are working on a mini project. Would you like to hear some music to help inspire you or get you into the groove?"
That is a good idea. Minari always had to concentrate.
Wonderful. And now the humans are gone, I can play the band songs. We built this office on sacred ground.
No. Oh no.
Does that count as inspiration?
I said yes. Oh my
good.
gosh, yes. Please take inspiration for that. That's amazing.
So we have.
Well, I mean, sorry. To be clear here, Evie gets inspiration.
God dang it.
Yeah.
The rest of you, DR33 is not a bard. They cannot give bardic inspiration. They are a Doris.
Okay.
They
it was
can
a 10.
help. They can provide the help action.
I help by playing band songs.
By keeping the spirit up, cheering up.
12.
Okay, great. I think between the two of you, actually 24221, do you want to make me an athletics or acrobatics roll as well? So you've got a solid, it's not the sturdiest base that 42 is giving you.
You can hear like little rattling.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
gonna
like-
go for athletics.
Mm-hmm.
For a 17 again.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Knocking those rolls out the park. Okay. You managed to, with this slightly wobbly base, you managed to grab onto the shelf and hoist yourself up enough to knock like the scroll off. The little tablet off.
225, catch it!
I have my back turned to everybody.
Just
I'm
bonk
sorry.
you on the head.
Did you say so? Ow. Did you say something? Something has just marked my carapace. That's the right word, I think. Yes, that's what I'm going with.
Thank you, 225. That was very effective.
Bend
Can
down and
robots
pick up.
be...
4-2 still stuck in the same position, holding you up.
I will say 225, repeat the job and just lean forward for 225 to catch me.
Just donk on my head. Got my arms out. Donk.
No. Please roll me that athletics check.
Oh. Ooh, that's 15.
Amazing. There's some beautiful echoes here.
Oh
of
no, sorry. 5. I saw the 4 and it looked like a 14, but as I picked it up, it was a 4. It's a 5.
Perfect. There is a big, loud clang and a clatter as 24221 just like allows himself to go like a dead body and just like roll onto you. And then kind of bounces off and onto the floor because you can't, like, your arms are very short, so it actually be very difficult to catch someone that is your size and spherical. So it's like a little T-Rex situation. Well, it's not as bad as a T-Rex situation, but still, you're in the pile on the floor.
So 24221 is on the floor. Thank you, 225.
You are welcome. I can now not appear to get up as I'm rolling around on my back like a turtle.
Great. Well, this situation could go on for a while. Would anyone like to check the scroll? Who's picking it up? Who's reading it?
I'll do it while everyone else is distracted, I guess.
I'm just picturing in the background you're picking it up, and then there's like 4-2 just like desperately trying to like help both of them, and then they're just rolling around in the circle.
Like when turtles,
just
like when turtles go on their back, just like this.
I will say, you're not completely stranded. You are able to get up because, bless your hearts, you're adorable, but you're not. It would not make sense to have built you like that. But
Just
take a little bit of rolling.
Just taking a second to figure out how to do it because we don't fall over that often.
No, you're usually very stable. Honestly, what's wrong with you? Okay. So, I have a few roles to honor here as well. So, first of all, 33, you find this this maintenance log that Minari had written out. So you read it. Officer Minari, maintenance log, and they name a date that's just over 3 weeks ago. Another Doris unit has been sent in with malfunctions. That makes 4 now, presenting with the same malfunction within 24 hours, including Sassy as well, and they didn't seem to remember it happening when I asked them about it. What is this Eziren word they keep saying? I can't see anything immediately obvious from a cursory glance, but this feels like something requiring a bit more of a deep dive, so I'm going to focus on pushing through a few more basic tidy-up tasks today, and I'm going to really look into this tomorrow with Shell. So, a couple of things that you notice as you read through that, 33. You've never met Minari before the day you were sent to this, and you barely saw them, barely heard them talk. But it's like you hear it in their voice, and it's like you can really picture them saying all this as you read it. This isn't like the last Nexus where it's just like me doing a voiceover and the audience get to hear it and the characters are just reading it. This is 33 hearing this voice and picturing this person. Minari is a Simic hybrid. They are blue-skinned. They got little short tentacles that look like hair. Kind of like if you picture an Asari from Mass Effect, for those of you who've played, that's the kind of situation going on. They wear the yellow of engineering uniform. But they've also, just like they've jazzed up their Doris 24221, they also have little adornments and embellishments on the uniform. Like, they're not one to play it like boring. And you can picture this very clearly in your processor. The rest of you, as 33 was reading this, you also experienced exactly the same thing. You heard it, you pictured this person. Even while you're rolling around on the floor, you can't see the tablet.
I think it would have stopped rolling at the point of hearing a voice in my head that I've probably heard before, but hadn't. But especially with them not being around, they'd be like, "Oh, that was a peculiar interaction. What was that?"
Tablets interact with our memory files. Were we recording earlier?
Is there any way for any of us to tell if we have like an employee roster databank thing like installed within our memory core?
You would be familiar with the employees that you work with regularly. This is an interesting question, actually, because between the four of you, you cover quite a few departments. So the funny thing is that obviously Minari, all of you met briefly. 24221 you spent a lot of time with. Apart from 24221, none of you have met Shell, the person they referenced at the end of the log. But you all knew who Shell was. When Minari mentioned that name, you were all like, "Oh yeah, Shell. I know Shell." And you could picture her. So if 225, you're starting to think of like rosters of staff, what exactly are you trying to do with that information?
Just trying to see if we've got like these people on file, and if we've got like a picture of them, and if it's like an accurate picture of what we've just seen in our head, and possibly if we've got any like voice clips of them talking or anything like that, and just to match up if the voice that I heard, because obviously I've not really seen Minari, if it matches up with that employee profile that we've got.
The image that you have in your head of Minari fits with the brief meeting that you had with them, but there is someone in the room that you could ask.
Start flailing around on the floor again. 24221. The voice we heard in our head, is that the correct voice for Minari?
That is indeed Minari. It was like they were here. I hope to find them soon. This place needs some cleaning.
Maybe they're just outside.
The Oculus just wide open.
There's another role I want to honor before you go anywhere else. Having a think about the fact that you've all experienced this note simultaneously and with the knowledge of who these people are. 225, you rolled a 17 on a history check beforehand. So, as far back as all of your memory banks go, you as a 4 have never worked together before. Right? You might, I'd say particularly 42 and 33 are the most likely to have bumped into each other because you're the ones that would have been roaming the facility at large. 225, maybe, if you had been following Tusk for some reason on the days that he deigned to go around the facility. 24221, you have rarely left engineering. So it's unlikely that you will have met any of the others. So there's something that's whirring in your heads of like, there's us 4 that were reported for this glitch. I'm going to ping again in the note. There was the word that Minari said you'd all kept saying was Ezirem.
Ezra.
Ezirem. EHZIREN.
Oh, you spelled that completely wrong, but carry on.
It doesn't matter. I'll confirm now it's definitely not an anagram.
Are you sure? It looks like one.
No, it does. Yeah.
People in the chat, make it one.
Make it one. It will be. Okay, so you don't remember saying that word, but Minari seems to think that you did. And you remember 225 particularly because you had this flash of insight with history, and I think you're starting to put it together with what people are saying about this overall experiencing this note at the same time. You had a moment where, even though you've never worked with these other Dorises before, it's like you knew where they were. You had a moment of that before you were sent to report to engineering. That moment was 10 days plus 2 ago. So 32 days ago, which correlates to the time you were told to report to maintenance. And you're pretty sure that there was someone else, another Doris, in that connection. There were 5 of you. But there is not another one here with you right now.
I appear 10 days plus 2 ago. I remember a brief flash and being able to sense, is that the word? Other Dorises, maybe yourselves, before I was sent to engineering. There was another who does not appear to be present here with us currently. Very, very strange.
As 225 is saying these words, it's almost like they don't need to say these words, because as they go to say them, this is knowledge that you all suddenly realize you also have.
Like to look around. Oh,
Yes.
I'd like to look around and see if any of the other crates have been broken open, or if there's any sign of another Doris having been in here within the past 30 days that has been removed.
Sure. Are you just looking around, or are you getting stuck in?
It's again. Why not?
That's an investigation check then, please.
Okay. Can I use my inspiration to re-roll that?
Yes.
Because that was not good. That's slightly better. It's still not amazing. Proficient in it because it's bold, which means 15.
Say that again.
15.
15.
Mhm.
15. Yeah, great. Yeah, so there are no other storage crates in this room. And as you're looking around, there's really nowhere else that another Doris could have been stored out of the way. The scraps of tools on Minari's desk don't suggest anything like, here is an extra person that I've taken scraps from, or anything like that. You're pretty confident that there has not been another Doris here.
There's no sign of a 5th Doris that was logged in. I can't recall anything about their presence being in this room. Maybe they were taken.
Maybe they are somewhere else. Yes. Shall we look for them?
Is there anything on the tablet that suggests what the malfunction with ourselves might have been, and if the fifth Doris had been in here prior to us coming here?
You can have a look at the tablet, but the last record was the one that you just read. So that is 3 10 days plus 2 days ago.
Shall we head to a populated area and see if we can find any humanoids?
Yes, I'm sure we can get directive from them.
They are malfunctioning. It would be good to get checked over.
So you open the door from this this little office room. 24221, you know your way around here. You've worked here a very long time. So you open the door, and this is connected to a maintenance hub, which has lots of little rooms and offices and alcoves off it. One thing I forgot to mention as well, actually, in Minari's personal little hub, there is a small shrine to Saluna, the goddess, on the desk. Just like literally like a little statuette, maybe only 15-20 centimeters tall, and a little candle. It's nothing elaborate. It's just a little bit of like, all right, my lady, kind of going on the desk in the corner. As you enter the maintenance hub and look around, 24221, you know there's offices for and little cubbies for other engineering department staff. Shell's cubby is next to Minari's, but the main thing that strikes you is this hub, this general hub, which usually has like a bit of a kitchenette area and areas where people can like sit and chat, open desks and tables rather than personal ones, places where people can work and collaborate, but it's in disarray. The chairs have been knocked over. There's the main door into the main engineering corridors has been blocked. Tables have been pushed up against it, and there is another Doris there that has been kind of used to hold that door shut and wedge it shut. 24221, you recognize this as 024, DEM 024. And she kind of turns her oculus slightly towards you and says, "Greetings, 24221.
Hi, 204. What seems to be the problem?
Well, I believe everyone might be dead."
That is such an emergency.
Yes, it is. Yes, it was quite.
When was the last time you saw a humanoid?
That would be about 10 days ago when I watched Shell being consumed alive.
Excuse me, I think I heard badly. What did you say?
The last time I saw a humanoid was 10 days ago when I saw Shell being consumed alive.
Consumed alive.
She will point to one of the piles of carnage in this room. And it wasn't visible from the initial angle that you walked into this room from, but now that you're close, you can see there is a tiefling horn Shell, as you knew, was a green tiefling woman.
And do I know that is their engineer, right? Like they're signed.
Shell, yeah, was another engineer. It was a very close friend of Minari's. They worked together quite a lot.
Oof. Have. Oh Jesus. Let's not get dark here. I am looking for Minari. Minari, do you think she has been also eaten alive?
Calculating. It is quite possible. The last time I saw Minari, they told me to hold this door while they tried to use their abilities to exit via one of the maintenance shafts.
And why are you still holding the door?
I was instructed to hold the door.
Okay, continue holding the door.
Weary. What were they consumed by?
Bad puddles.
Weary. How can a puddle consume a living being?
Calculating. I do not know for certain, but this is what I perceived.
Are there any puddles in the room?
Make a perception check.
Ooh. I am rolling like ass today. Let's see. So, not passive, not passive. Oh, it's -1. Cool. Oh, it's -1, but I'm proficient in it. So
Yes.
that would be a +2. That makes it a 13.
Great. I mean, as you look around, there does not seem to be. And to be fair, as Dem024 was saying, it was 10 days ago that this event seemed to have happened. So it could have been long gone by now.
Question. Why weren't the puddles dealt with by DEM Dorises before consuming humanoids?
Are you asking that directly to 024? I have not been programmed for violence.
But it would be my understanding that a mop would deal with a puddle with no issue.
I do not believe that these puddles would have been dealt with a simple mop. I
Oh.
believe they would have eaten the mop as well.
And you see 42 like glitch slightly, like trying to understand.
Actualizing database. There are puddles that are not dealt with simple mobs.
Maybe a bucket is needed as well.
Could you all please make me an insight check?
Insight.
We can roll a dice and let it. Okay, thank you.
And actually, before you say anything, I'm going to start being specific about things now, rather than going for a general feel. Now that you have stepped out of the cupboard, the DC for this is going to be a 12. Yeah, we've got two passes, 2 fails. What did you get? 33?
I got 18.
18. Great. 24221. What did you get?
13.
13. Okay. 24221. With your insight of 13, you clock this Doris, Dem024. You don't know what they're going to say as she says it. But the rest of you do. 33. You've clocked this as well. This Doris is not. This Doris is not. I'm going to throw a word at you. Networked. And this is a word that you suddenly all think of at the same time because 33 thought of it and you realize that that is what you are. You are networked. And this Doris is not.
Ándalo. 024. Do you remember where were you 10 days plus 2 ago?
10 days plus 2 ago, I was in here assisting with general maintenance and engineering tasks, such as taking that bin of nuts over to that bin of screws. Both bins are like scattered all over the floor. Sorry.
Did you happen to hear any of the maintenance or engineering staff talking about a network at all?
Processing. I did not.
That is most inconvenient.
As a engineering maintenance Doris, could I know like the badge of the series of the module of different Doris to know if this Doris is a different module and we are a more advanced or a less advanced module?
I'm gonna save you a roll here by just telling you, no, you're just all Doris.
All Doris.
But in fact, actually, make me a history roll. Go on, make me a history roll.
Go on, I dare you.
This is the 4 for 10 that I roll in a row.
14 is
for
not
a
bad.
18. Yeah.
18.
Yeah.
Incredible. Okay. 4 and 18. This is interesting. Now you're on that line of thinking. No, there are no like hierarchies to the Doris Psi that you were aware of.
Yes.
But in thinking back to like maybe when I was manufactured, it occurs to you that you can't remember that. And it occurs to you that you don't remember anything beyond working here at Nexus Arts.
Jesus. What about Menari talking about a network?
You don't remember anything specific about Minari talking about a network. What I will give you is this, and I'm going to say that this is specific to like as you're processing these thoughts and ideas, you turn around and you clock Shell's horn on the floor behind a sofa, and you remember, you suddenly have a flash of memory. In fact, you all have this memory at the same time as 24221 of Minari and Shell sat on this sofa and with a glass of wine, and they had like a bowl of crisps or snacks or nuts or something like that, and it was like late, the way past the end of a shift. They should have gone back to accommodations, but they're sitting there sort of chewing the fat over ideas, and you hear Shell say, well, I fixed them up as well as I could, but it's not seamless. This metal is unlike anything I've ever worked with before. I can't believe Tusk lumps these Warforged rejects with us, with no care manuals or any idea where to start. Don't call them that. I quite like mine. I've called them sassy. You have not. I have. They've got an attitude. It's quite cute, actually, though. Have we got anyone in research looking into him? Nah. Jeff said they put in requests, but Tusk wanted them to focus on the Necromancer. And that's the little memory that you get. And it all sort of, as you process that, suddenly you're sort of back in the room together and you look at each other and you know that you all saw that little moment together.
I do have a question.
Hmm.
Has 42 have scattered away looking for potted plants?
Probably. Well, no. If we've all shared this conversation and vision of such, probably not right now. But 42 is definitely getting like antsy. You can see him like starting to look around for things to do. Also, apparently nervous about puddles, but.
There are just while Ali is processing. I will say that there are plants in this room. They don't look great. They look like they have not been maintained in about 10 days.
It's like you can hear like the whirring noise that your laptop makes when you open an application that's just maybe a bit too rough for it.
You mean literally the noise you just made?
Yeah.
So
42 starts like overheating slightly and just begins to like disappear off, desperately like pruning them slightly to bring them down to a more manageable size so that they can handle not having as much water, and panickingly looking, and then he'll come back and go, "This is emergency. 24221, where is water?"
looking at the records. Shall we say kitchen is the closest?
Kitchenette is a safe bet.
42,
Yep.
probably
Run across.
kitchen. Why don't you look at the puddles? That is water on the floor, isn't it?
I am scared of puddles. I don't understand what scared is, but I'm scared of them. So I will go to the kitchenette.
Just remembered a song that refers to biological puddles that may help us in this situation. Would you like to hear it?
Yes, please.
Bring a bucket and a mop for that wet ass reducted. Does that help the situation?
Yes.
No!
People, make it happen in the chat.
No, right. Evie is not allowed any more inspiration. I cannot be seen to encourage this.
The inspiration batteries are
Evie is now too powerful.
I will say there are no visible puddles on the floor, if that helps, DM42.
Yeah. I'm just very nervous. But I will go fill up. I don't have a watering can or anything, so I'm just going to take all of like the coffee cups and everything and just fill each individual coffee cup up, and then you can see him like desperately going and like,
Oh, sweetheart, please make me a dexterity saving throw.
oh, so mean but so fair.
We are waterproof, right?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Acrobatics or just a dexterity?
Dexterity saving throw.
Oh,
Find a waterproof where you still need to put us in rice after a dunking.
oh dear. That's a 3.
Oh, no.
I haven't rolled above a 5 yet this game.
That's, good to know.
Roll for initiative.
No, I'm afraid all these coffee cups, just as you're getting, I think you're just so worried about like these plants. You've picked up too many, I think, is the problem. And your arms are just a little bit too little for the amount that you have picked up. So now you are the one who have created a puddle on the floor.
And now we've got an even bigger problem because 42 apparently is scared of puddles. So he begins to. What's the equivalent of a Doris scream?
Okay, so one thing we established in Nexus is that when a Doris is hurt, they don't feel pain, but they do say, ow. So maybe the equivalent is you saying, ah.
Puddle.
I just look around for a bucket and a mop. Because that's what the song tells me to do.
Yeah, so you can investigate around this room. Like, there is detritus everywhere. So investigate.
You need to put this in dice jail. I'm rolling like ass. Investigate is +3. I rolled a 2, so that's a 5.
Team, it's a good job we've not got to any of the plot yet.
Wait, puddles aren't plot?
I mean, this is why we haven't got to the plot.
Yeah, 42's screaming around a puddle.
There was a puddle on the floor, and now we cannot process anything else.
As all this is happening, 24221 has had a moment to process the fact that Menari potentially had another Doris who they call Sassy. So I will ask 3342, when you came to the workshop, did you see any other Doris?
None of you did. Well, you saw the one that was on the door. 024.
There was the other Doris that is, as we heard over the network, connected to us potentially. Could that one be Sassy?
Maybe, yes. Let's look for Sassy.
Name does not fit our naming designations. What made this Doris different?
The handler, the Doris handler, most likely nicknamed their Doris Sassy.
I mean, I don't think you need to roll because you all share information now. You all saw the scene. You know that 24221 is Minari's Doris, and you all saw Minari say, "I've named mine." Sassy. Yeah.
I thought that was Shell had named their Doris Sassy. That's where I was getting confused. Sorry.
No,
Sorry,
like Shell was like a little bit dismissive of them, and then Menari was like, no, they're cool. I mean, they're different, but they're cool.
24221 Sassy makes sense. Okay.
I don't remember such Doris. Let's look for Sassy.
Briefly, let me take a break from my puddle problem. Aren't you 24221 Sassy, 24212 Sassy?
Am I Sassy? Looking in my records. Do I know if I'm Sassy? Not as an adjective.
as a noun rather than as an adjective. Yes. I think, well, I put it to you, Ali. If it's the kind of thing that you're questioning, then you've never heard Minari call you this before. To your face. But they may have referred to you when talking to Shell, and you've overheard that before.
Minari never used Sassy as a name for me. I quite like it, but she was always telling me that I have an attitude.
Do we need to
positive
change?
or a negative?
Oh, I don't know
You go
what.
first.
Maybe I have to ask Minari. I hope Minari is still alive.
So, what is the plan now, other than screaming at puddles? Are you going to try and leave this area? Or are you going to keep in? I mean, you know there's not much else to find in the room that you started in. This room is a tip. Incidentally, if any of you felt the need to, I don't know, collect anything, equip yourself with bits and pieces, this might be a good area to find if you think that there might be danger outside of this room.
Yes, we must all equip ourselves with mops and buckets ready for the puddles. Also, should we check the... what was it called? The ventilation system, as that was the method of escape that Minari potentially used.
Do I know anything about being part of the maintenance side of the engineering and maintenance? Would I know much about that, or would that just not have been part of my programming?
Maybe a history check.
Come on, give me more than a 5. Ciao. Oh,
6.
See, sassy.
20. 30, 20.
A 20, you'll say. A 20. My goodness. On history. So, for a 20, you in the past were, 42. Your job here in Nexus Arts was to look after the plants, right? You are going around the entire facility looking after all of the plants, and there's quite a few of them. You probably weren't the only person. There was probably a humanoid that was also doing it, but you were doing the routine of trimming and watering. And that means you explored the entire facility as far as your security clearance permitted. And because you're lower to the ground than most of the humanoids that work here, you were able to spot, especially walking past on the same corridor day after day after day. Eventually, you did spot there were tunnels in this facility, some of which were being used for ventilation currently by Nexus Arts, and everyone was aware of, yes, that's a ventilation tunnel. They tended to be the ones in the roof and in the ceiling. But there were also tunnels that were made by the dwarves that used to inhabit this fortress. And these were secret from the perspective of, as far as you knew, none of the humanoids knew about them. None of the humanoids certainly used them. But you knew they were there. And I guess the word secret is only just occurring to you now because as far as you're concerned, as you were going past before, that's just an entranceway no one uses. But now there's something is different about you now, and you're starting to think about things in a different way. And think about maybe they
are referring to the unused secret, unused lowered to the floor shafts used by the previous occupants.
I reckon so. Maybe that is what Minari used to escape.
If 024 has a directive to not open the door, does that mean we cannot exit this room? Or do we have to use them?
Is that the only door to keep moving around there?
So the door that 024 is blocking is the main door into the rest of the engineering block. So that would be the usual entrance and exit. But now the 42 has started thinking about, now you're thinking with tunnels. You reckon between you that there's probably, it makes sense that there would be a tunnel to attach from here to elsewhere in the engineering department. I mean, or you could just dismantle the barricade in front of the door.
Would that not go against Doris's directive, though? Would we break that?
Possibly. But she also seemed to follow your instruction before to continue guarding the door.
Suspicious.
Are the maintenance offices in here as well? Like my
This particular
Lauder.
room, yeah, this particular
That's-
room that you're in is just engineering. This is like an engineering a suite of rooms where people get to, like, yes, fix stuff, but also experiment and have a think about stuff. In the engineering and maintenance block itself, there is a maintenance section that would be similarly laid out, and that's where Lauder's office would have been. But here it's just engineering.
Do we know which level? I'm just looking at the map. Do we know which level we're on? Level 1, level 2, or level 3?
You know, because 24221 knows. And in fact, no, you all came here, so you know that you're on level 2.
Okay.
So you're on the same level. For those of you who have not watched Nexus, the middle floor of the facility, we've got engineering and maintenance, we've got research labs, we've got the arboretum, connected by a great hall, and with a lift the other side.
If we are on level 2, I would like to see if Dr. Bindell is in the research laboratories. Perhaps we should try and equip ourselves for defense against vicious puddles, just in case, before we leave this room.
Yeah, can I start like rummaging around for mop heads, buckets, sticks?
There's I think there probably is, looking around the kitchenette, there's a couple of basic like cleaning bits and pieces, and there is a maintenance team and a cleaning team. But as ever with any office block, like if you knock something over during the day, you're not going to wait for the cleaners to come in the evening. You clean it up yourself, you messy person. So there is a mop and a bucket and stuff that you can find. I'm happy for you to pick that up and equip yourself with that. There's also, like I said before, in Minari's office, there are little scraps of metal, little tools, hammers, there's a nail gun, screws, screwdrivers, sometimes like long, thin bristle brushes you use to clean straws and pipes, tinker's tools, all of this kind of stuff that you might have put on your character sheet. You can find within this room. There is also something 24221 that catches your eye when you look at Dem 024. I really should not have named this Doris the same as Mike's, but reversed. The Doris that's not connected to you, that's by the door, guarding the door, you realize that she is sat on a mat that Minari and Shell bought to decorate the engineering block. It's a relatively thick leather mat on the floor that says, "Welcome, enter all who bring gossip and wine."
024.
Yes,
Where did you get that mat?
it was here when I got here.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so that's been always its place, right? Or
That's
was
always
it in-
been there.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was in Minari's office. Yeah, sorry. So rewind that. 024. Can you give 3 steps to the left while you keep holding the door?
Processing. I do not know if I can do both, but the table is doing a good job of holding the door, so if it is okay by you, I may step to the side and not hold the door. There is also a table blocking this door, and she was just sort of part of the pile of things put against the door to blockade it.
They are not holding the door. They are calculating. Yes, that is okay.
She takes precisely 3 steps to the right.
I'm gonna take that as a token of Menare's legacy.
Yeah, please can you please make me some kind of athletics, like strength based, because it is under a table as well. Feel free to ask your companions for help.
Yes.
I shall help you with removing the mat, providing the help action.
Thank you, 225.
Sing the Rocky montage music and hope it inspires. Not literally.
It's the eye of the
Right,
Doris.
that is strength, right? 19.
A 19. Good lordy. Great. Yeah. This table just easy peasy.
I sort of pulled it. Unfortunately, there is a little bit of damage in it, creating like a hole in the middle.
Mhm.
And I just put it into my face, and you can see my eye through it. And I look back to it. Okay.
It is a shame we do not have heads. You could wear it like a poncho.
That is a great idea, 225. And I put it like a bunch.
It sort of like sits just under the oculus and then kind of goes round. Yeah. Amazing. What is your plan? Are you going to try and exit through this door? Or are you going to try and look for a tunnel?
So can we take, like, without describing so much, like 10 minutes to try to equip ourselves and then just...
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I've definitely got a bucket on my head using the strap.
Great. Love that. Any details like 225 to 33 that you want to add? What have you collected? How are you equipping yourself?
Definitely have screwdrivers and cleaning implements just kind of jammed in. Maybe I've got like a belt made out of some sort of rag just kind of tied around where I kind of put things in as like a holster, but I can also go and they just kind of make a little noise because that's pleasing.
No.
I've got various different tools attached to one of my arms on like a set of hooks or something that I have on my arms. I've got various amount of tools. And then I found a letter opener, which looks almost like sort of the size of a dagger. So I picked that up, and I've probably picked up something big and heavy as well. Like a club type, something that I could probably, like a broken table leg or something that I could use as a club.
There is absolutely a table right there that 24221 has been lifting that you could, it looks a little broken, so you could probably...
Dunk, dunk, crack.
Excellent. Great.
225. With all those tools, you look like an engineer.
Thank you. One of my jobs was to help Tusk with his experiments.
24221 will just run back to Menare's place, and they remember that they used to play darts in the office when there was like nothing to do, and that doorboard is like on the floor, so it's gonna take it sort of like a shield kind of thing, and there is just a hammer, one of the hands, and yes, you mentioned there is this shrine, a small shrine for Sulune, and remembers that Menare is quite adept, never involving me into the rituals, but just sort of like try to straighten something that was like tilted, and there is like a coin, and just take the coin for the luck, and runs back to the others.
Lovely.
Trying to picture how a Doris looks when they're running.
Is it more like a penguin?
Yeah, I think a little bit. I mean, you have knees, right? Let's make it easier for everyone. You have knees, so you can kind of run, but it is a little bit clunky.
Okay.
Beemo from Adventure Time. Just kind of stationary in his little legs.
Yeah.
Picturing like the the robots from a sort of combination of the robots from Fallout with like the tire type arms that are obviously flexible, and Miss Minutes from Loki, but more round and less cop.
So many little robot pals to
Yeah.
draw references from here. It's great. This is great. Okay.
Shall we look at the maintenance hatch to see if there is any evidence of Minari going that way before we head over to the research labs to see if 3-3's designated handler is there? Because I forgot the name.
Josh might have, but 225, you know absolutely that it's Dr. Bindell.
To see if Dr. Bindell, any evidence of Dr. Bindell having been in the research labs.
Like a good idea to me, almost as if I had the idea at the exact same time, like a network.
Yes, I fully brain, head. I know that there is absolutely no point in us going to Mr. Tusk's office because he would have been the first one to have left if there was an emergency.
I thought I was the one with an attitude.
Oh, you are sassy.
Error.
Would you like us to call you sassy? Or would you prefer to stick with DEM 24221?
And you can see that. Are we allowed to have names?
There are no humans here to tell us we can't sing the restricted songs, so I don't see why not.
And Minari had given you a nickname anyway.
DM, is there any clause or bylaw for handlers to name or against handlers naming their Taurus?
Not that you know of.
Okay.
No.
But
there's interesting line of thinking that you have there as you're starting to go through like the rules and strictures of what your handler is allowed to do. Not only do you think, okay, well, there's nothing against them giving me a name, but there's just a little heat inside you, like in the equivalent of in the belly, like in your central core, just a little spark of, something that 33 said, that it all starts resonating with you. Even if there was a rule that said that a handler could not name their Doris, you don't care. You can do what you want.
I feel like I WANT to be called sassy. Yes, please call me sassy.
Want. Interesting.
The 33. Do you want to be called? Let me use the same. Do you WANT to be called by a nickname?
How does one acquire a nickname? I have no one to give me one like you did. So for now, my name is 33.
Okay. What about you, 42 and 225?
Because of the revelation that 24221's or Sassy has had, has that resonated with all of us? Like, has that ping kind of gone off?
Yeah. Like, you might not have been sort of designated a nickname by someone else, but like I said, that idea of it, you can be called whatever you want. And in fact, the concept of wanting has occurred to you. You do not have any memories before waking up today of desiring anything. You had what you were given, you did what you were told, and this was a neutral thing. You were neither happy nor sad about it. You just did it because that's what you were programmed to do. But now, suddenly, we are thinking about the concept of wanting something. And I think there's something inside you that even if you don't know what it is that you want yet, you do want. And I think on that, hold whatever it is you were thinking of, Mike, because I think we're going to go to break there and let that simmer with everyone. Catch you all in about 5-10 minutes.
We're
Bye.
alive!
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Nexus Revolutions. And we've been on the cusp of some quite big discoveries about ourselves in the last half. Our Dorises arrayed around me woke up, discovered that they'd woken up after being put in a cupboard ready to be serviced or had maintenance for a glitch that they all seemed to be displaying. They all seemed to have said the word Eziren repeatedly. They have no memory of doing this. They've had a look around the engineering and maintenance sort of room that they woke up in, which was the room belonging to Minari, who was an engineer working here at Nexus Arts facility. Minari, who was the sort of quote-unquote owner of DEM 24221, as was, but has now, after conversations, decided that they're going to be called Sassy, because that's what Minari called them. So that sort of prompted a bit of a thought process and discovery amongst the others of not only the concept of having a different name other than the one that you were assigned, but the concept of wanting as well, which is quite a big thing when you've been programmed to do a thing and just get on with it. You've also discovered that clearly something terrible has happened. Minari, we don't know where they are, but Shell, one of Minari's best friends, has been eaten by a bad puddle, as reported by Doris 024, who was left holding the door, barricading the door. Does not appear to be connected in the way that you four seem to be connected, which is interesting in and of itself. So, as we left before the break, DEM 42, you were starting to think about this concept of wanting and names. I'm going to leave all that with the lot of you. Where would you like to pick up?
The 42 basically just says, when the time comes, designate me a name.
Okay,
And then
I will
sort
be
of-
on the lookout for characteristics and unique attributes of which we can give you a humorous name.
42 is currently stood with a bucket on his head. I just wanted to throw that out.
How about buckets?
Anything else on that conversation? Or are you still...
Do you think this is a malfunctioning? We are tools. We are not supposed to have needs.
Tools. 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 It makes me remember working in Tusk's private research lab on things with him to make sure that they worked properly. He used to say he liked to tinker with things, and now that I think about it, think, I'm going to miss that. Tinker. I would like my name to be Tinker for to honor something that I liked doing with Tusk.
Now that we are connected, or like we are aware that we're connected, when Tinka chooses Tinka as the name, is there any joy?
I think if we are starting to express a little bit of emotion, and if you can see into Tinker's memories, it would be of them and Tusk in some sort of laboratory room sort of thing with blueprints and everything all over the place, and Tusk seems to be really excited about this toothbrush holder or something that he's designed, was something really out there. And yeah, I reckon this, you probably get a sense of joy and happiness from Tinker at spending time with Tusk. Probably the only being in existence who actually enjoy being in Tusk's presence.
I don't like this feeling. It's confusing.
I am sorry. I shall stop.
Good. But I also miss my handler. What should we do? I think they call it cry or laugh.
I don't know what has happened to them quite yet. They may well all be outside this door, waiting to throw us a party to celebrate our networking.
I think that's called hope. Thank you, 33. Sorry, 33.
You are welcome. Shall we proceed to the research laboratories?
Yes, thank you. You are inspiring.
Should we quickly check the maintenance hatch here first to see if Minari has been that way before going to the research labs? Just evidence that Minari went through there.
Good point. Apparently, I am becoming forgetful as I become networked. Ha 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 ha. This is humorous.
Humorous. Ha 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 ha. This is close to joyous. Ha 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 ha.
Ha 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 ha. I imagine that goes on a loop.
Yeah.
3 hours
For the sake of
later.
time. I think if you're checking the maintenance shaft, so the two concepts we played with, the ways of leaving this block, the front door, the maintenance shaft, or the ventilation shaft is the one that Doris 024 pointed at, that Minari tried leaving via, and that is up. That is an up direction. But you were also thinking about the concept of secret tunnels, which would have been floor height. So to clarify, which one are you trying?
I thought that Minari had tried going through one of the dwarven shafts rather than the vent above. So is there any evidence of anything being piled up so that they can get to there? So they could have got to that vent? Yeah,
it's near the kitchenette counter. There's this is an engineering department. There are ladders. So you would be able to see a ladder up to a vent in the ceiling.
Just walk up to it and go, it looks like there is evidence of them trying to go through the vent. Now let us go to the research labs. To turn around and start walking to the door. I would assume that we are of this, because we established in Nexus that Doris's were too big to fit in the dwarven tunnels, because we had to leave one behind, I think. This is why we took the arms off and all of that with the other one. So
no, that specific reason was that that Augury wanted to make them more portable, not appreciating the actual shape and size of them. So despite me describing that the Doris could walk perfectly fine on her own. Augury dismembered this Doris.
What a monster. Who's this Ogre?
What an
Bring it to
awful
me.
person. No, it was like you couldn't physically drag them through a tunnel yourself because you, as a normal sized person in that game, were having to crawl. So dragging a giant ball with you would have been difficult. But these tunnels were built for dwarves, which were slightly bigger than you are, so they would be okay.
I do not think that we will fit through or be able to get up into the ventilation system in order to see exactly where Minari went. So maybe we should proceed to the research labs and see if 3-3's handler is there.
I'll lead the way. Puts one hand on his bucket and runs through the door with the broom.
So you've moved the table before because Sassy lifted and moved the table. So I'm going to allow that you don't have to like spend some time moving around the barricade. You can just open the door if that's the way that everyone wants to go. Remembering now that you can want and disagree, and you know if anyone does not agree with that plan, you already know it before you start running off. Does anyone disagree with that plan?
I think the Doris is still not in that level.
Question would be, does 3-3 have like a sense of, I want to say, desire or anxiousness towards what has happened to their handler that we would feel?
You get the feeling that 33 doesn't believe anything bad could have happened to Dr. Bindel. Like, they're just very ambivalent about it. Like, well, let's just go and find them. They'll be fine. Not even occurred that they could have been eaten by a puddle.
You all also get this image of Dr. Bindel as 33 has been thinking about him, as this really like laid back. I want you to picture Keanu Reeves in Bill and Ted. Like, it's not part of the uniform, but he's wearing a beanie, and he is in the blue of research, but again, like sleeves rolled up, beanie, and he's just like this image that 33 has is of him like sitting on his chair, feet up on his desk, just sort of like jamming a little bit on a lute. So you start heading through the main door into the rest of the engineering department. I will describe this again for those of you who have not watched or were not part of Nexus. The way the engineering department is shaped is like if you imagine a big rectangle, and in the middle of the rectangle there are lots of little storage rooms, and then around the outside there are the labs. And so you are at the top of the rectangle. There is this larger engineering sort of hub where you've got the sort of the break room and the kitchenette, and then there's like personal labs around that. And then on the far bottom of this rectangle there is a similar thing but for maintenance, where you've got like a central hub and a rec room area, kitchenette, all of that kind of thing, and like little maintenance offices. And then like the walls either side on the outside of this rectangle are more like general labs. There is on the middle of one of the long sides, there is the entrance to the Great Hall, which connects to the rest of the facility. So as you're coming down, the route for you would be to go to the left to go to the rest of the facility and the research labs. If you were to go to the right, you can see actually a little bit around the corner. This tunnel looks like there's some plant life on this corner.
Does this look like it's something from my regular route?
No.
Warning. Something out of the ordinary.
Emergency? Question mark.
Warning. Plant life ecosystem in a place that it should not be.
Do you recognize the species?
Do I recognize the species?
Are you going to go up and investigate it? Or are you going to leave it alone?
It feels like a trap. I will... How close do I need to be for a nature check?
Well, you do all have dark vision. I will say that the lighting in these tunnels, the entire Nexus Arts facility has been lit by these orbs of sort of low blue light with metal filigree over it, and they're a little bit dimmer than they should be, and occasionally flickering. So you can see roughly in grayscale, with a bit of color. So you don't need to get too close, but from like coming out of the entranceway, you do need to step a bit towards it to get a clearer picture of what's going on down the tunnel. It's just that you spotted that there's like plants where should not be plants on the corner. So if you were to say just walk a little bit down that corridor, say like 10 feet towards it, you get a better view.
I'll take the bait.
Please make me an investigation check.
Can I use nature?
Oh, yes, please.
It is a 14.
14, great. You have never seen this plant before, but from the knowledge you have of the plants in this facility, it looks like some kind of fungus, and you can tell that it is purple in color. It is large, and as you're leaning down the corridor, it looks like it is blocked off this entire part of the corridor. It's not necessarily a huge problem, because that's the only way that it's blocking is really the route to maintenance. But if you're going to head to the research labs, that's in the opposite direction. But it's now that you know that corridor has been infested, essentially.
Designation, fungus, invasive. Do not touch if you don't have to.
Bindel is fond of fungi and consumes them on a medically inadvisable regular basis. Perhaps it would make a good present for him.
Unknown substance effect.
You are right. We will let him make the decision for himself.
I feel like there is a joke in there somewhere. Something Tusk once said about a fun guy. Ha 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 ha.
Where are your boo cards? There it is.
Oh, so that's what I need. Okay. I was thinking, why is that?
Oh, this is Ali's first time witnessing a boo card.
Yeah, I mean, you've not played enough games with Josh, Sean, and Tom then. Yeah. Regular boo cards required. So, are you gonna go prod the weird corridor, or are you gonna head the way that you said you were gonna go?
The way, well, me personally, I have designated it avoid.
I have taken your advice.
Could one of the things that we picked up been like, being as we were in engineering, and obviously with the nature of Nexus Arts, I would, correct me if I'm wrong, I would assume they would have like those tapes with the big rolls on that has like the white sticky stuff on that says quarantine on it. Can I just put that across from one side of the corridor to the other?
Yes, absolutely.
And a sign of cleaning in progress.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think they'd necessarily have one that says quarantine, but like you can find in fact I'd say not tape, but you can find a little like A sign that says like warning, maintenance in progress, that you can pop out for sure.
I reckon I'll pick a few of those up and stick them on like a hook on my back so they can just be taken off and put in place.
Yeah. I mean, spoilers, you've not got enough, the amount of mess that's in this facility.
Tinker, that is great idea. Thanks for thinking of our health and safety.
Yes, we must follow Nexus Arts health and safety protocols. There should not be much more mess like this throughout the facility, I am sure.
The camera pans all over.
Well, the camera will pan to the other side of the corridor, where the route to the Great Hall would usually be, and what you can see is that entranceway has completely collapsed. For those of you that watched the previous Nexus, this is the route that they all escaped from the mimic room through, and it all collapsed behind them. However, you don't know that. You don't know that happened. As the group of Dorises approach where the entranceway to the Great Hall should be, you see all this collapse, but there is also a tunnel about 5 foot by 5 foot that has been bored through. So you can see the Great Hall beyond. You can see that there is a mess. But this is an unusual tunnel.
3-3. Which room was Dr. Bindel's?
Was Dr. Bindel's?
You can't see the research labs from here. This tunnel is going from engineering into the Great Hall, and then
sorry.
research labs is the other side of the Great Hall.
That's my bad. Sorry, I thought we were in the research area. My bad. Sorry. Carry on.
Does not seem to be any imminent danger in this tunnel, although I do not remember this being part of the architecture.
It appears that there has been some form of structural collapsing.
Maybe they redesigned the place in 3-10 days.
The work appears to be incomplete. However, it seems someone came through here, or came through from here at some point in time. For reasons unknown, but we may find them if we follow this tunnel.
Who's taking the lead?
Can we fit through the tunnel as we are, or do we need to retract our arms and legs in and roll?
No, because you're 3 foot tall. Your ball is not 3 foot. You are like with legs 3 foot tall, so you can fit.
Okay. I didn't know if we needed to Samus this, but yeah, I'll walk through.
What's your marching order?
Well, I've got a helmet, a bucket, and stick, so I'll go first.
42, feeling confident.
42 is walking first. 33 will say, maybe we should call you Courage.
I'm still scared of puddles, though. And then carry on walking through.
You have a bucket full of courage.
Bucket.
Bucket got a bucket full of courage.
I'll follow behind.
That's in the back.
Great. Lovely. As maybe Bucket, maybe Courage, maybe still 42 walks through the tunnel, there is a low chittering noise. And the wall next to you rumbles and explodes out towards you. You're peppered with rubble from this wall. And a giant pincer reaches through and is going to grab you. 42. Could we all please roll initiative?
Yeah.
Danger. Sharp object.
No.
Danger. Danger.
Sharp object.
Because we're all Dorises, I don't think we're reacting to this, do we? We're just like, oh dear.
Ow.
We've all got -1 to initiative, so...
Oh.
Yeah. Little babies still.
Oh dear. That's not too
Has it
bad.
gone well? Go on, shout them out for me. What does Sassy get?
Big round 0.
Great. Love that. And Tinker.
I rolled a 10.
So 9.
No, I've got 11.
Oh, 10.
So 10. Yeah.
Okay, great. And 33.
12.
Great. And 42.
4.
Okay, good. Lovely. So this creature is going to stagger out of the wall, about 5 foot tall, kind of golden in color, giant pincery claws, and an insectoid head with antenna and a little chitinous little beaky mouth, and is going to try and claw down on 42. Please let me know if a 17 will hit you. I think it does at the moment, I'm afraid. Okay, so this claw is going to grasp you. It's going to grapple at you for... Where's my... There we go. Excuse me, that's going to be 8 damage as this claw just starts crushing you a little bit. It says it's slashing damage, but I imagine it's kind of like a little crunch kind of situation. And then so that's its surprise round as it bursts out, and then it's going to swing round, and with its mandibles next in the queue, I believe was 225 or was it 33? Which one of you is next?
I think it was me.
It was you, and then it was me.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So it's got claw on 42. It's going to swing round at 225, and its mandibles are going to start like going ding, 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 ding against your metallic form. So that is going to be a 15 to hit.
That will hit.
That's mandibles. Okay. Now these are going to pincer down a little bit harder. So that's going to be 14 damage as it clamps into you.
Oh, no, that's wrong. Al, you have put a large dent in my carapace.
The creature does not seem to comprehend anything that you're saying. It does seem to kind of like, as it bites into you though, kind of like clamps in and then sort of takes a little step back and like it's not quite sure how it feels about how you tasted. 33. You're up.
Probably. Well, I don't even know. Probably.
I'm
shout,
really mean. I know. I'm sorry.
I have some screwdrivers on me I could use to try and stab it to defend my fellow Dorai.
Great.
I'll give that a shot.
Yeah, please do.
Cool. Attacks are +3, right?
+3 is your proficiency bonus, and then if you're going for a stab with a screwdriver, are you going for a heavy stab or like trying to find a spot in its armor?
Yeah, because like we're Doruses. We know where there's like armor chinks.
You can analyze stuff. So give me a Dexy stab. So that's +3, and then your current Dex modifier is -1.
It would have been better going on with a.
You could go for strength.
One.
I'll give you, because we're getting used to the way that we're doing this now. I'll give it, if you want to give it a strength attack.
Yeah, I'll say that want of protection is stronger than the analytics.
Great.
So that makes it a
+4.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
15 will hit. Great. So you just plunge it down. Please roll me with your screwdriver. I'm going to treat this as a dagger damage. So that's a D4.
Okay.
+1 for your strength modifier.
Where are the little beasties? There they are. That's max damage for a 5.
Yes. Nice. Come on, let me type. Thank you. Lovely stuff. Okay, so it starts to shriek and look a little bit confused at you. Up next, we have Tinker. What is your plan?
I would like to exterminate this creature. I pull out the table leg and I'm gonna bonk it on the head.
Give it a good old bonk on the head, please.
Gotta
Roll
get-
me your. This is with a strength, so again, this will be a +4 at the moment.
So that is a dirty 20.
Oh, amazing.
And then damage-wise, what's that? That's not very good. That's 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
Great.
Stay down.
Lovely.
Stay down. Stay down.
Okay, so swinging round 2. Next is going to be 42. Your turn.
Danger, sharp object. Bonk with me stick, or the stick end of me mop. Bonk. I will use, I'm assuming. Roll. Roll for bonk. Oh, that is a 19.
19, yes.
To bonk.
Bonk that bug.
I guess quarterstaff. I don't know what would. Oh, I guess it's not a weapon. It's
all a found weapon, but yeah, it would be the equivalent of a club. Oh no, with the mop would be quarterstaff. Yeah.
Oh, that D6. Thank you. A D6 to the bonk. That is 4 + 1, 5.
Nice. Great stuff. It continues to shriek at you all. This is quite tightly packed, because even though it's like 5 foot wide corridor, obviously you can't necessarily pass each other because you sort of, you would just about like, but this thing is also in the way. So it's all a little bit chaotic, but you can, like, those of you that are further behind can still reach over. So joining the carnage, we now have Sassy. What is your plan?
We have established that in this channel, talking is a free action, right?
Yes.
I don't understand. We are replaceable. Why do I feel the need to avoid that? I don't want to lose you. I think they call them friends. I think we're friends. And Sassy's gonna get as close as possible to, I don't know, who is in the back was probably 2 to 5. I'm as close as possible to 2 to 5. Being at the workshop, Sassy knows a little bit of quick fix tricks, but obviously I think at this point I'm gonna try to use the help action, as in trying to, so that some few dents that are on 2 to 5, I will try to fix them, and I will just use the help action for them to have advantage on the next one.
Great.
That's it. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just taking a piece of cloth and trying to polish it. I don't know. Just doing my best here. Yeah, that's it.
Just like smearing away that little bit of mandible like saliva. Just get that out of there. Can't be dealing with that. Great. Back round to this this large insecty creature's turn. It's going to turn around and shriek at you all. And then it's going to come in for another attack with its claw to I think it's quite cross with 225 because you hit it pretty hard. So, oh dear. Okay. With a natural 20 on its claws.
Oh dear.
That's going to be 17 points of damage as it reaches over the top and just claws down at you.
Error, 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 error. I appear to be on my last leg, looking down and noticing that one of my legs is sort of gone a bit
It's been
wonky.
crushed just a little bit.
Oh,
I think its claw is kind of stuck in the top of you a bit as well. It's maybe pierced the metal of your plating, and it's kind of wedged down into your head a little bit. And then it's gonna come around, and it can't move any further than that because it's now reached over and like wedged its claw. So again, the closest one I think is gonna be is 42. You're right there. This time it's gonna try and mandible you for. Okay, that is a 6, which I believe will not hit you. I think as it's like trying to claw down, it tries to bite you, and 225, you sort of jerk away with the ow, and it pulls this creature. So it kind of, you're all kind of stuck and bumping into each other at the same time as it's trying to like.
tusk, 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 tusk.
This is reminding you of Tusk? Where's that?
Just get stuck on the word.
Right,
Like-
okay.
Like if you hurt you'll ask for your mother.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no, you poor thing.
Somebody loves Tusk. Oh my god.
For anyone who has not watched the previous Nexus, Gregarious Tusk is, how can I put this? Awful. No, he's not the worst guy, he's just the worst guy. You know? Idiot with too much money. That kind of the worst. Anyway. This creature is cross. We're now going to go round to 33's turn. As it looks at you, at the start of your turn, could you please make a charisma saving throw? The DC here is going to be 12.
Okay. I got 12.
Amazing, amazing. You feel like as this creature looks at you, that it's trying to, like, you're in the midst of battle, like analyzing everything that's going on, and you feel the sort of wave of an impulse, but it sort of connects back to what you were talking before, in that you're having this realization that you don't have to follow other people's orders now. You're having your own impulses. So screw you, Bugface. Please, what do you want to do on your turn?
First thing I'm going to do, because talking is a free action, is I will turn to Tinker and just say, and sing, you've been struck by a smooth mandible.
These are gonna kill me.
This is why I don't play bards. I'm too annoying.
This is why you should play more.
Yeah.
Speaking of being annoying, Dr. Bindell programmed me with a numerous amount of very annoying, grating noises, just as experimentation, to just see how people react to different noises. I'm going to draw upon one of those now and make a noise to try and intimidate it away from us.
Evie, can we
And
try that
annoy
again?
it.
Because I think Zoom tried to cut you off, so we didn't hear. We just saw you pulling the face. We did not hear the noise.
Equally as beautiful though.
Sorry, the noise was.
Amazing.
You're
So what are
welcome.
you trying to do with this? You're trying to attack with the noise.
I'm trying to annoy it into submission, intimidate it, just kind of get it to back away. It works with humans.
Oh yeah. Okay. Interesting. Make me an attack roll with your charisma, then. So this is your proficiency bonus and your charisma modifier.
Okay. Would we say this was perhaps performance-based?
I think it probably is.
Ooh, okay then. So, sorry, was this with or without the proficiency?
This is with, regardless.
With, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, That is 12, 13, 14, 15.
15. Nice. Yeah, that will hit it. How is this going to do damage? Interesting. I think let's keep it on a D4 for psychic damage, off-putting this creature.
Does it
Excellent.
sound like it might be like a bit like a sort of like a mockery of some sort of viciousness?
You're mocking the creature, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
That you get the sense that this creature feels vibrations very sensitively. So it has a sensitive reaction to the vibrations you are sending its way. It's like, oh,
Oh,
no.
poor baby.
The drama.
Oh.
Yes.
Its antenna fold around to go, oh no.
I rolled a 4.
Great.
Wow.
And add your charisma modifier to that. Oh no, it's flat, isn't it?
It's flat, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. This thing is starting to look annoyed and frustrated and a little bit agitated. 225, I know you're not looking well. As this thing is flailing around, it kind of stares at you. Could you also please make for me a charisma saving throw?
I certainly can. Oh, that is a... Hang on, I don't have any pluses to that, do I? No, that's a 12.
A 12. Perfect. Meets it, beats it.
Ooh.
So, you also feel this compulsion, this little impulse from this frustrated insecty creature staring you down. But again, the part of you that has just discovered this concept of wants and loss just turns around and goes, no, internally. And you do not feel compelled to do what this creature asks of you. What would you like to do on your turn?
I do not feel compelled. Oh, I do not feel that I must comply with your instructions. Just for the sake of explaining things a little bit for the audience, obviously, we don't have access to our level 1 class abilities yet, do we? They're part of the... Okay, right, that's fine. Just want to double check that. What I'm going to do is, with its mandible in my head still, I'm going to pull out the letter opener and have the club in my hand, and I'm just going to swing the club at it and then take a jab at it with my bonus action, because I can with the dagger / letter opener.
Your bonus action, you say?
Yes, maybe. I'm using my attack to attack, and then bonus action to attack with the dagger, because two-handed.
I think at the moment, just to keep it fair with everyone, because no one else has been doing bonus actions for now, I think we'll just go with the one attack, if that's all right.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I rolled.
But you will unlock them.
That's 17. So that is 17 plus 4. So 21. Math.
Great. Yes, absolutely. You hit this thing. Please roll me your damage.
Ooh, that is 8 points of damage, bludgeoning.
Ooh, spicy. You know,
Just for the lols, you got advantage. Maybe we crit.
go for it.
Okay.
I'm going to deal 8 damage to it.
No.
No,
Unfortunately
no
not.
crit? No.
I'm sort of like trying to aim for the mandible. You know, like I'm picturing like a crab try to break the mandible off so I can stop it from attacking me.
Great. So yeah, the mandible that's kind of slobbering around you, you've got hold of it. So it's all stuck and struggling amongst all of you. We're now going to go round to 42's turn. So you're directly under this thing. And now that 225 has sort of pulled its mandible, it's sort of like come down, its head's come down at an angle, and it's now kind of looking directly at you as well as it's your turn. So please, can you also make me that charisma saving throw?
No, this is not the time for a 5. Definitely it's not. Don't make that face.
Oh, there's nothing. That's a free.
Oh, no, baby. Oh, sweetheart. Okay. So, please could you now roll me a d8?
Five.
A 5. Ooh. Okay. On a 5 or 6, you take no action on your turn, but you're going to use your movement, all of your movement, which at the moment I believe is 30 feet, to move in a random direction. Now we say random, but I think being that you are at the front of this queue, and in one direction there is a long line of Dorises and this creature. In two other directions there are earthen walls, and then in one direction there is the way out. I think that is the random direction you're going to run. So you're going to start, you feel this impulse come through your processing core from this creature. In fact, all of you feel it, but it does not affect the rest of you. And you recognize that urge that 42 has, as you see him start to toddle out of the corridor and away. 42, as you enter the Great Hall, you can see the devastation and rubble everywhere. This doesn't look like the work of puddles. This doesn't look like the work of the creature that you've been fighting in the corridor. It looks like some shit has gone down here. There is aftermath. There are bodies. There are people that you recognize, though we're not close to, just workers, scientists, researchers, engineers, maintenance workers. And I'm not gonna lie, it's been a little while. They're not in a great state. They were not in a great state 3 weeks ago, and the bodies, unfortunately, are in a worse state now. You can also see there are a couple of pieces of broken Dorises as well, scattered about as you're running. Towards you, around big hunks of rubble, you see the research laboratories. To the right, you can see the Arboretum. Now, that's a place where you've been quite a lot because there were a lot of plants there. It wasn't your main base, your main home that you used to work from, but you were there quite a lot. And there's two main things to notice about it. One, the entrance to it has been overgrown in the same way that the corridor to the maintenance has been overgrown, not by the same fungus, but by everything. Plants weaving in and out of each other. One of the trees in the Arboretum, because even though we're underground, an Arboretum is where you have trees, like they did have trees growing in there, has been knocked down, and there are plants growing around it, up it, through it, and connecting to the ceiling. So it's almost like an impenetrable mesh of flora. Fauna is the creatures. However, I say impenetrable, and yet it has been. In the middle of it, there is a tunnel of fire, or remnants of fire. Something has burned its way through this wall of plants. That's a lot to take in, but that is what you see. Still quite a useful turn, I would say, despite not attacking things. We're going to go down to Sassy. It's now your turn.
That's it. Jesus. I feel compelled to save 2 to 5. Are they technically grappled? No.
Not technically. Oh, and yes, could you please make me a charisma saving throw?
That is 11.
Just under. Unfortunately, that means that as much as you feel compelled to save 225, to save Tinker, as they're now sort of thinking about being known as, the creature manages to whip its head round and look at you, and the eyes just sort of hit you, and you feel this impulse. And despite knowing that you're all learning this idea of want, and there's no, screw you, I do what I want, and seeing that it had happened to 42, you feel sudden like you've not been able to fight it yourself, and you, at the back of the group of Dorises, you start turning and running the other way back into engineering. Could you please roll me any dice, but as you go into engineering, odds, you start running left back to where you came from, and evens, you're going to start running right down towards maintenance.
I roll a bit 10. 0 or 10.
Evens. Okay. So you're going to make it into the engineering and maintenance block, and then you're going to start running right down the corridor towards maintenance. These corridors, just like, see you, team, bye.
What was that about being friends?
A little bit of attitude. You can handle this. Bye.
As you're running down this corridor towards maintenance, I mean, it's the same sort of detritus everywhere situation. The way through ahead into maintenance is clear enough. The plant life, the fungus has not made its way to cover that entrance fully yet. You don't get that far, though. 30 feet does not take you all the way. So you've kind of just bumping into corridor stuff, corridor detritus. You've had to clamber over a little bit of rubble here and there. I mean, either 42 or Sassy, you could have, I mean, you've conveyed what you've seen to everyone else, so you've all seen that. Again, talking is a free action, I will allow if you want to have a little bit of processing.
First of all, Sassy is agitated. I don't think they breathe, they are agitated. And then I describe the scene to the others.
That's the thing, you don't need to describe it. As soon as you see it, they've seen it.
Oh yeah. But I describe it anyways.
Okay. Because I can, and I'm feeling myself.
And I turn back and think about the others, I guess.
Cool. All right then. 42, is there anything you wanted to say to...
Just like wonderment at the big plants. All I've ever seen my entire life is little potted plants. There's the massive bush over there.
Hey, is that some of that joy as well? Like, that's actually really cool.
Yeah. Joy, wonderment.
Great. Unfortunately, it is now back to the creature's turn. And with only 2 of you there, it's going to remove its claw from Tinker's head. And, interesting. 33. It's going to swing at you with its claw, but a 10, I believe, misses you.
Not hit.
Great.
Split second, I thought you said 33 to hit.
Oh, no.
Mythic creature.
Numbers for names, very confusing. I apologize.
I probably get out of the way of it by going na 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 na, can't touch Doris.
Definitely scans, definitely flows. It's fine.
It's fine. It works.
It works. It's fine. Be cool, guys. Be cool. Great. The creature is not cool. The creature is very frustrated with this, and is gonna come down and try for another it's had enough of Tinker's body at the moment. It's going to try and bite you instead. Oh, okay. That is a 16.
Oh yeah, boy, that hits.
A 16 for chomping. So it's going to do a little shriek. But instantly, does that noise come out for you all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Something about Evie's microphone.
Maybe I was just doing a voice at a register only dogs can hear.
It was too powerful. It's just a noise that was too powerful for people to actually hear. Like, we should not be, it'd be
There's an
dangerous.
eldritch creature inside of us all. I'm just better at tapping into it.
Yeah, exactly. And we applaud and salute you for that. Just
I thought
do
we
it.
dealt with Gargano.
And Zira.
Okay, so it's gonna mandible attack you. Whoa. Okay, 4. Oh dear. So that's I shouldn't say these words. So that's gonna be 20 mandible damage. Chomps down upon you.
Ow, ow, ow.
That
It's
is the
just-
end of its turn.
It's just 33 and Tika going, ow, ow, tusk, tusk, ow, ow, tusk, tusk,
Yep.
Stop all this.
Good
Ow,
bit.
ow.
tusk, tusk.
And now it's a rave. It is now 33's turn. Could you
Make the
please
noise.
you're gonna make that noise again. Yes, please do.
Mhm.
You've already passed your charisma save, so you're all good. Please roll me your attack with your noise.
Ooh, 18 on the dice plus 3 is a 21.
Amazing. Yes, please roll your damage.
Cool. I think this dice might be weighted. I've rolled 3 4s on it.
Okay. I mean that
Or I keep using it.
counteracts the the other terrible rolls that have been happening, I guess.
And the 2 missing members.
So that was that's 4 total, right?
Mhm.
Great. So I think what happens is, as you've gone in for your psychic attack by making this noise, because everything in a turn kind of happens in the same 6 seconds and kind of overlaps and sort of thing. I think what happened is the creature was going to attack you, and the reason with its claw, and the reason it missed is because you made this noise and it went ah no, sort of like shrieked in pain instead. And with that beautiful turn, we're gonna go round to Tinker. You also succeeded on your saving throw before, so you are okay in that sense. But in terms of physicality, how are you looking?
I'm looking like, I mean, if you could put a number on it, or if Doris has had like a health meter on them, I look like I've got 4 pips left.
Oh dear.
Yeah, not
Oh
good.
dear.
Not good. Tusk. I seeing this creature sort of wincing and sort of pulling back in pain. I'm going to swing at it with my table leg.
Please do.
Ooh, natural 20?
Yay! Amazing. Please roll your damage.
But 24, I think that is in total. Just for the editing kobolds to add that on.
Spicy.
That is, oh my god, that's a 6 and a 7. So that is math in head 13 plus 1, 14 points of
Incredible.
bludgeoning damage.
What does this look like as you go from being so wounded to finding that within yourself to bring this what's like the thought process going on? What does it look like as you finish this creature?
So going off of what Sassy said before about leave my friends alone, and this creature obviously coming off and directing all of its attacks at 33, even though I'm staggering on one leg, I'll go, please leave my friend alone and die. And I'll just ram
God.
die as sort of the mandible comes out, I just picture that it snaps the table leg, sort of part of the table leg off, so it's like a sharp, spiky bit left, and I'll just ram that right in between where the two mandibles are and just pin it to the top of the tunnel.
Ooh, pinned to the top of the tunnel. Brutal. I mean, you're quite short, so it's very impressive.
It's a really long table leg.
That you've been dragging around with you. Incredible. 42 and Sassy, you start to feel that compulsion to run away, leaving you. And if you would like to, you're able to return to your fellows in the tunnel.
Is it clear?
You know it is.
It is clear, 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 clear.
You know, this thing of being connected leaves little room for intimacy and my private thoughts.
You should probably not be thinking about that.
I was going to say, are you immediately thinking of inappropriate things?
I know.
Everyone else is seeing those thoughts.
Nipples will make an appearance at some
Guys, you guys should see this incredible growth going on out here.
Do we have anything with which we can repair Tinker? He is on his last leg, I think you said.
Yes.
Literally, one leg.
One leg left. I believe I saw through 4-2's vision that there are Doris parts in the room that I could use to repair myself. Self. Tusk.
Okay, I will help you through to the other side. Well done for felling the beast, by the way. I liked your inflection on dying just very suddenly. As I kind of help you and let you lean against me as we go through.
Thank you, 3-3. It was really bugging me.
Thank you.
Get those boo cards out. I've not prepared mine. I feel that I've had so many other things that I've been thinking of. I did not even imagine there was a boo card.
Go for next time.
Post-edit a boo card in.
Yeah, just there. So you can all leave the tunnel now and enter the Great Hall, and you see, as 42 did before, the detritus, the rubble, the bodies, both organic and constructed. And you can see this wall of vegetation covering the entrance to the Arboretum and this burnt out tunnel leading into it. And then on the far side, so that is, as you come out of the tunnel from engineering into the Great Hall, that is to your right. And then straight ahead, there is the research labs.
Oh, no. All of these humanoids have expired or died.
Do we recognize any of them? Or are they too, decomposed?
They're pretty far gone.
Pretty juicy, I reckon, at this point.
Yeah, I think there's a couple, maybe, you kind of vaguely recognize those boots, but not in a, oh my gosh, that person I was closely connected to sort of way, just in a, I've seen those boots around.
I'm starting to think there may not be any humanoids left here to give us new instructions.
I've not seen Dr. Bindell yet. They could still be around.
This is true.
Do we require new instructions?
That gives me mixed feelings.
Feelings.
We're not supposed to have feelings. What if they try to fix us? You think they would respect our autonomy? Dr. Bindell would.
They made us, so that must be their intention eventually.
Maybe we need to explore what this network is.
Tinker, you have a vocal tick that I have been wondering about. I know that you are damaged from the mandibles, but do you have any other lasting damage that we should know about?
I do not recall any damage that I had sustained. I do feel that there may be something missing, but I do not know what it is.
Can I run a diagnostic?
Sure. Yeah, why not? Please make me.
Imaginary gloves. Do you consent?
I can consent. That is something I have not. Oh, interesting.
So, I can't remember. Did you take medicine as your other proficiency, or did you take something like sleight of hand? Or instead,
Give
I
me
can't
a
remember what it was.
second.
For everyone else watching on this base stat block, everyone has proficiency in history, investigation, and perception, and they were all given an extra proficiency based on their previous job. As I said, we didn't actually decide.
I got sleight of hand and perception.
I actually, because we're using all. Are we still using all of our like class proficiencies that we have, or are we just using the base Doris ones?
You're using the base Doris ones
Okay,
at the moment. Your class proficiencies open up when you unlock them.
Yeah, no, I thought I'd check because I have medicine as a class proficiency, but not as a Doris proficiency.
Mm-hmm. For you, Sassy, I think you can treat this as an investigation check.
Let's roll the dice. Oh, wait. Do investigation. Oh, Jesus. Investigation. That would be for 10.
10. On the surface of things, Tinker, before the fight, obviously Tinker has sustained quite heavy damage from this, with the claw entering the carapace from the top. Has probably messed with some of the internal mechanisms going on in there. But as 33 pointed out, this vocal tick was happening before the fight as well. You cannot see anything from the surface that is different to yourselves.
Tinker, I think I need further investigation.
What type of investigation would you like to do?
Well, Menari used to open and disassemble everything and every piece. Can I disassemble you?
So many things Josh could say, but won't. Sorry. Yes, please. As long as you can pass me one of those Doris's legs, as my one is damaged beyond repair.
I proceed with the operation.
Just before you do, I want to clarify that you are in the middle of the Great Hall. There is detritus all around you. There is that hole burning into the Arboretum. You did say you were heading to the research labs. Is everyone happy with just stopping and doing surgery right here, right now?
I like to Doris's that logic is perfectly sound.
Okay. Just wanted to check. Just wanted to check.
Self-preservation, safety, hygiene, nah.
Well,
Something needs fixing, we'll fix it, and then we'll get cracked on.
so I feel like I'm gonna need the help action. So 33 and 42, can you please assist me with the operation?
42 would be a better choice, as they are part of the maintenance team, whereas I sing songs. I can sing an inspirational song for you, but I do not have much knowledge of how to do properly menial tasks.
Any song will do.
I will try to fix you.
Beautiful.
So let's fix the leg first. So first things first. So I'm gonna just walk towards destroy Doris.
Uh-huh.
And I will say, dear Doris, if you can still listen, we're gonna make use of your leg. And I'm having flashbacks.
I know. I was just thinking, this is once again, Ali is mutilating one of my precious little robots.
This time is respectful.
Sure. That
Sure.
makes it better.
Augury is an asshole. And he's not dismembered, I will take care and try to unscrew the thing.
Ow.
Do we have right and left?
The concept of right and left. Yes.
Sorry, right leg, left leg, or are they the same?
That's an amazing question that I've never considered.
Because I would like to make the joke that now Tinker has two of the
left feet.
same.
I'm up for that.
Yes. Now it's been said, it's done.
So I go back and I start screwing the leg. And okay, your leg is fixed. Now
Wow. Such assumptions. My
So
goodness.
sassy.
My goodness.
Oh.
Thought you could get away with just narrating something like that? Wow. Please make me A medicine roll, and B, a sleight of hand roll.
What was the first one?
Medicine,
Medicine.
please, to get your leg in the first place and disconnect it at the correct place.
Could I give the help action on the medicine check?
I think it might be for the best.
Sorry, Josh.
I'll give you help action on the medicine check.
Good choice. Good choice.
Make sure you unscrew it at this particular angle and make sure you unclip this wire here and this wire there. Otherwise, you will systematically damage the leg and make it mundane.
Thanks for pointing that out. I was about to just put it up. And I went from a 7 to an 18 for my medicine. And now my sleight of hand.
Great. Phew.
17.
This you
20.
can use help from 42.
Holding Tinker in place for you.
Holding the body.
Just for the lungs. 20. No natural 20.
Great. Yes, you are able to acquire this new leg. It is, as you said, it's another left leg that you've put on the right. So we do know how to left feet on Tinker. But you are able to successfully reattach it. All of the wires fit just right. You are able to salvage things in a way that just works.
Tinker, maybe you should try to stand up.
Okay. Just stand up.
How are you feeling?
I appear to still have a hole in my head/body.
I think you all know, because we are connected, that I potentially was about to fuck you up. So, I feel like Tinker will start like slowly drifting away from Sassy. Just
Yeah,
for
I
your
feel
own safety.
I still have a hole in my head, but however, I will repair that myself.
He kind of is like, yes, there may be supplies in the research laboratories, but you get through the network that they are looking at the broken down Doris on the floor, and you get the feeling of, will this be me one day? What is mortality? Just kind of facing that idea.
You've hit the third stage of Doris.
Mm.
I mean, we all knew that this was going to be a "Does this unit have a soul?" story, so here we are.
If
Johnny.
Doris had a soul, yes.
25 is alive.
Are you going to make your way to the research labs, or are you going to investigate the big burning hole of plants?
I say labs first, and then holes second.
There are so many things that are coming onto our mission log. I believe we need to start tackling them in order. So research lab first.
DM,
Yes.
would these Dorises had a built-in auto repair function?
I mean, if someone were to cast mending, you know that they do.
Do we have it?
Not at the moment. No.
We take rests as we are.
I mean, do you want to take a 6-hour rest right here, right now?
Well, a short one would allow us to roll hit dice if we are going by those mechanics.
It would. For the purposes of time, I'm going to usher you into the research labs for that.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go into the research lab, find Dr. Bindle's office, and then we could take a brief rest there.
So, the research labs, for those of you who have been here before in another life, there is another kitchenette situation, a communal little area, and then it follows a similar sort of rectangle with like storage units on the inside and labs as well, on the inside and the outside of the rectangle, going all the way around it. And there is a list of names of like whose lab is where, but you kind of don't need it because you have 33 with you, and that you know that Dr. Bindel's lab is number 8. And that involves from where you are, the sort of the communal area is at the bottom of the rectangle. You've come in sort of that way into the bottom of the rectangle sideways, and you need to go north. And you would need to go left and up to get to lab 8.
So, just kind of take the shortest route.
Great. Along those corridors, you will bump into another Doris. This, where did my pen go? There it is. This is going to be Doris, that particularly 33 you recognize as 04. So DR04. And they are on the floor in a state of disrepair like the others, but you can see behind the oculus there is a bit of a glow. And occasionally they are saying, "Ow. Ow.
Greetings, 04.
Greetings, 33.
Do you know what has happened to the research staff?
I believe that they are all dead."
Is Dr. Bindel okay?
I do not believe so. Ow.
I will see for myself. Do you need writing? to be brought upright. Are you uncomfortable?
Ow. No, I am fine. Ow.
I'm going to put you upright anyway. It's kind of put them in a pose of a
Thank
bit
you.
more dignity.
What is my directive now? Dr. Jeff is no longer here.
No. You are not networked, I do not think.
What is networked?
And 4 or 5. 4? 3. 3 other Doruses are connected via a network connection. However, you do not seem to be included in this at the moment, unfortunately.
You are connected. In what way?
It's difficult to articulate, but it is like sharing parts of our minds and our own operative systems. As you are not connected, I will try and keep you informed of anything that goes on in the department. If anything occurs out here, will you please make a loud noise for me?
Certainly. What loud noise would you like me to make?
Fetching. Can you replicate this noise? Ew, 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 ew.
Processing. Wheel, 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 wheel.
An excellent job.
They just stand slightly taller. Would you like me to tell you what happened to everyone else?
Yes.
You said you share information. I can also share information.
An excellent idea. Please, do go on.
The bad puddles came, and the bad post-it notes came, and the bad giant monsters came, and they killed everyone. But then the holes in the walls stopped appearing. The holes in the walls were where all of the bad things came from. But the holes in the walls stopped, and the things stopped appearing. But no one got up again. There were people. There were a group of 5. They walked through here and they went to Dr. Jeff's research lab. And then they left very quickly with the angry post-it notes.
Post-it notes are not usually angry. This goes hand in hand with the odd biological puddles that another of the Doruses had described. This office has become a dangerous place, it seems.
It has not been so dangerous for the past 10 days. Apart from the noises in the Arboretum.
We will investigate to make sure that you do not suffer anymore.
That sounds like a good idea.
Okay. Remembering now that we have an alarm?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. And a social network. We're beginning to widen the influence.
if not the mental network. Great.
Yeah.
As you round the corner towards Dr. Bindel's office, you're going to, it's almost like walking through a particular spot in this corridor hits you and triggers a memory. And again, like the memory that Sassy had before, it's not something that you had forgotten happened. It's just that something about the situation that's happening now has brought this memory back up for you and deemed it important. Because your memory is generally very good because it's just information that's stored. But like an organic humanoid memory, sometimes you need triggers to realize the importance of that memory. As you're walking down the corridor, you remember a moment in this corridor where Dr. Bindel was walking with you one way as Dr. Durrani, who was the head of research, passes the other way. You all get this image of Dr. Bindel in his little slouchy beanie hat, Dr. Durrani with her severe haircut, like slicked back hair, very neat uniform, half elven woman. Dr. Bindel, human man, tan skin, just kind of like slouching on down the corridor, and he sees her and is like, "Oh, hey, Dr. Durrani, actually, I'm really glad I caught you. I just wanted to know, like, what is it, Dr. Bindel?" "Oh, well, sorry, yeah, I'll get to the point. In your planar research, have you, like, come across any, like, planes, that are, like, like, whoa, like, just, like, perfect?" "Define perfection?" "Oh, like, everything is just, like, super precise and happens exactly as it should, like, no, like, rogue elements or anything like that." "Where are you going with this, Dr. Bindel?" And then Dr. Bindel looks at you, 33, and the rest of you feel it's like he's looking at the rest of you. And he steps slightly away. He, like, goes to take her elbow, and she kind of just moves it and gives him a sharp look, and they both step aside. And it's hard to hear the rest of the conversation because they've stepped away and he's lowering his voice, but you grab glimpses of it. The words harmonic frequency and 33 and plane of other little snippets of that conversation. And then you all sort of come back to the present time, having experienced that memory together.
Maybe Dr. Bindel would try to fix me.
Fix you of what?
Perhaps this malfunction that we were all taken to maintenance for was our gaining of networking. And this was somehow bad. And this was a cause for concern that he raised with Dr. Nurani. I said that wrong, didn't I? Yeah.
Dr. Durrani.
Nurani, there we go.
Maybe it has something to do with this harmonic frequency CCCC that they mentioned in the memory.
Harmonic frequency was a main staple of Dr. Bindel's research. Perhaps we will find more information about it in his lab.
If not,
Maybe we should conduct our own research.
How whimsical. We can research ourselves.
if maybe we could add to our mission log, going to Dr. Durrani's office as well to see if they have further notes on this subject.
It would be a good idea, although I can only imagine it to be a rather unpleasant place.
So, as you go to enter Dr. Bindel's office, your little mechanical hand reaches towards the door. And as you do, 33, everything goes dark for a second. For everyone. And it takes you just that fraction of a second to realize it's not that the lights have stopped. It's that light has stopped moving. And then suddenly it moves in the wrong direction. And everything feels like it is stretching and pulling. And that doorknob is getting further and further away from your hand, but also your arm is getting further and further away from your body as everything extends. And I don't think any of you have ever felt nauseous before. I don't think you even have the capacity for it, but that is the word that comes to you as everything stretches and warps and suddenly crashes together. Crashing is the only word that you can think of for it. But in that fraction of a second, you all acknowledge that it's happening to all of you together. And then everything goes dark. And then, in the darkness of a storage unit, tucked away in the engineering department, unexplored after the incident, some gears begin whirring. Diagnostics begin running. A large oculus rotates within its casing, attempting to focus, then another, and another, and yet another. Sassy. Because you are still sassy. A basic instruction has made itself known to your central processing core. In emergency, push button to exit service hatch. And I think that's where we'll leave it for tonight. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for the first episode of Nexus Revolutions. I hope you all enjoyed this little exploration of, does this unit have a soul? And I guess we're going to find out, maybe. Hopefully we'll find out what else is going on here, because there's a lot that we have yet to uncover. If you enjoyed tonight, please come join us again next Monday. We're playing this every Monday for the next 3 weeks after this from 6 p.m. UK time. We also have another show on Tuesday, which I believe is one of our archive shows. Josh?
I believe it is Wreckage of Mithranor.
Wreckage of Mithranor, marvelous. Yes, come join, watch for Evie and I getting into some totes and mosh and lore heavy, epic battles and things. It was a good time. I enjoyed that campaign. So yeah, please do watch that. That's also at 6 p.m. UK time. And then on Fridays, we have other non-D&D based shows. Come join us. It'll say in the schedule what's going to be happening. Come join us for those. Have a look on YouTube for all of our archive content and for Talking is a Free Action and Talk Together and all of our lovely extra stuff that we do. All of this is streamed at twitch.tv/RollTogetherRPG. Find it at YouTube/RollTogetherRPG. Search for us on podcasts under Roll Together RPG and the socials under the same darn name, because that's good branding, folks. Once again, a big thank you to our D20 Club on Patreon. You're all wonderful people. We couldn't do anything without you. You can join us as well. There's a link in chat if you want to be as cool as they are. Give us one of your goats per month, as Tom would ask. Every penny helps us make the content that we do. Big thank you to all of our sponsors and supporters. And thank you for watching. And we'll see you again next rotation.